I have two questions related to you. I never thought I would be reading books written by a ghost. And right before I met your material, I had something that people call an awakening. I had really intense physical and emotional pain. And then it was very intense. And then your books came. But what happened to me is at one point, everything stopped. And I started to feel this energy inside me. And everything you said in your books made sense. The birds started to fly around me. Everything was good. Like for 2 years, I was still poor. I didn't care. I was happy. Everything was good for me. I didn't need anything.
We love you so much, but can you feel how complicated everything gets? We really do want to hear these lovely stories, but we want to impress you with something else that to sort of take the place of that. You don't have to explain nothing to nobody. In other words, when you know what you know, this is what we were getting at with our earlier question. Can you feel what emotion is it that is motivating your desire to tell these kinds of stories? What is that?
Because because of you, I became a life coach and everything.
Is it that I want to be seen? I want to be heard? I want to impress people? But what we're getting at, this is rampant on the planet and it is not helping you out.
I'm trying to understand how to shut off my mind.
We don't want you to shut off your mind. We want you to shut up your mouth. Now, we can be kinder about that because we mean it in the kindest way. In this always desire to explain, you activate all kinds of stuff all over the place. In other words, you said so many things there that if we were to really address the vibrational content of them, we could have written 3 books on that 3 paragraphs that you offered.
Okay.
Unnecessary. These are the facts. We're talking about you. I am an extension of source energy. I lived a bunch of life. I put stuff in my vortex. I'm alive. I'm excited, and good things are coming to me. And here's a list of the recent ones that are coming. Or, oh, look, there's another. Oh, look, there's another. Oh, look, there's another. We're saying this to everyone, not just you. Enough of the sales job. Enough of the explaining, or in some ways without even realizing it, the justifying of why things are coming. It's like I have to explain where I've been before I can be understood about where I am. That's such a flawed premise, because in trying to be understood about where I have been, I mess up where I am. So instead of shining the light of where I am, I've got it cluttered with where I've been. So my message as this coach that I am is not coming across as clearly to the others. Much of the world stands in a place of constant justification of where they are. And that holds them right there, even though the vortex is so much more. So an even more powerful thing that you could be offering, you could say, life comes at us all. And as it does, we come to preferences about what we want. And they're lined up for us because you know what? We're worthy. We're deserving of that. And every moment that our mood is good, we're letting that stuff come in. And then, dear hearts, this is what we are really wanting you to hear. Because you're so intensely tied to everybody else's observation and opinion of you, every time something wonderful comes to you, you want to explain to them, I paid the price. I paid the price for it. It didn't just happen to me. I'm struggling and suffering too. It's like you think that the pathway to your wonderful stuff is to have paid a price that Source is not asking you to pay. That's man's distortion of how it works.
It's a Catholic Church.
There's no Catholic Church here, and you were laying it on pretty thick. So as you explain, I do that because I learned it there. That's just more of that we're out of bagels stuff. We know it's not easy to all of a sudden just be here now and feel, but we want you to leave this gathering today knowing this. I have a point of attraction, and my mood lets me know what my point of attraction is. And if I'm trying to, Esther said to herself the other day, I think I'm feeling sorry for myself. She had so much to do, and people weren't lined up helping her like they should, even though they're on the payroll. And a lot of it she hasn't handed off to them because she's afraid they'll screw it up, and she knows she will do it right. This could get deep and dark. And all of a sudden, in not feeling frisky like she wants to and often does, she thought, I'm feeling like a victim. And then she thought, door number A. Nobody loves me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Door number B. People should try harder. Door number C. My point of attraction is my point of attraction. This feeling of feeling sorry for myself, even though I may think that I have a justified reason for doing so, is getting me nowhere. And nothing good can come to me as long as I'm feeling like this, because I am in control of my point of attraction. Only what I think is about my point of attraction. It doesn't matter what anybody else's opinion is. It doesn't matter how anybody else dovetails with me. The only thing that matters in any moment in time is how I feel, and I can do something about how I feel if I care enough about how I feel. And she was over it. She was over it. A lot of people believe that the way they sell books or courses is by presenting what they have overcome. This is a room full of teachers. You will attract the neediest of the needy to you, and they will bind you and bog you down until you will be sorry that you ever attracted them into your experience, if that's the way you match up. But if you are standing in your power and your strength and your clarity and your knowing, and you know how this stuff works, and you know you've got a point of attraction, and you know they do too, and you are aware of how you feel, and you can see pretty much how somebody else is feeling, and then you help them to understand that you've got to improve your mood or nothing can change. But I have reason for this mood. Doesn't matter. But it's been going on for a long, long time. Doesn't matter. My husband died. Doesn't matter. I have a diagnosis. Doesn't matter. My parents weren't good to me. Doesn't matter. The government is all out of whack. Doesn't matter. The world is upside down. Doesn't matter. Climate change is worrying me. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what excuse you're using to feel negative emotion. The negative emotion you feel is your indicator that all the stuff that you've been asking for is not being allowed right here, right now. You've got to improve your mood. But I live with ornery people. Doesn't matter. Nobody helps me. Doesn't matter. You don't have an excuse big enough. And when you give up every excuse for your feeling sorry for yourself or for you feeling like a victim, when you give up every excuse because you remember these things, I wanted to come, and I came from source energy, and the larger part of me is still there, and my inner being has eyes on me all the time. And life caused me to ask. And when I asked, it was given, and it's still being given, and it's there for me. I just got to improve my mood, because improving my mood is improving my point of attraction. And then when it comes in, you go, oh, I get it. I understand how it works. I must be worthy. I must be blessed. This divine intervention on my behalf, 24 hours of every single day flowing to me. And now I found the key. Be happy if I can. And a little happier if I can't really be happy. And a little less grouchy if I can't stop being grouchy. Because you're not being measured against anything other than how much are you opening your valve. And then it gets easier and easier. All right, so here's the real deal. We're just going to fast forward right to it. You're up and ready for this. You've been listening to us for a while? Then have you heard us say, words don't teach, only life experience teaches? You've heard that from us? Such a strong, basic understanding. Have you heard us say, Most people offer most of their vibration in response to what they are observing. Have you heard us say that? Have you heard us say that when you expect something, that is a sort of determined focus, that when you desire it and you believe it, then it is? So expectation is really a powerful, important thing. All right, let's put all of this together. So when you go from where you are right now and decide that you're going to find a good mood because you want it, and for all the reasons that we've talked about, so you're feeling like you really want to do it, you want to find a good mood, and you're not in such a good mood, but you play the ABC door game until you find something that feels better. Not great maybe, but better. And then you know you found the mood because you took a minute and did it, and then something happened. Something unexpected happened. Unexpected by old standards, but something unexpected happened. Oh, and then you connect the dots. I wanted it, wasn't in the mood to get it, improved my mood, and then that happened. So now, words didn't teach, but life experience did. You know what else happened? Now you have something to observe. And now in that observation, you will improve your expectation. That's why this will work for you. Because words don't teach, but when you do something on purpose and then you get a result you want, and then you affirm that, you acknowledge that, you observe that, you milk that, you come to expect that. Do you know how much trending that does for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing? There are sticklers in your life. There are people and situations and issues in your life that are not a good idea to start with in this process, because they'll challenge your will to live. But if you will start with easier things and let the universe show you how cooperative it is to your wishes and your desires, you not only will cease feeling like a victim, you will feel blessed and heard and understood. And when you get feeling like that, you'll shine in a way that people will flock to you, and they'll say, what do you know that I don't know? And you'll say, I know how good I am, but I had to work at it. I know how blessed I am, but I had to let the blessings in on purpose. I figured out what my point of attraction is by the emotion that I was feeling in the moment, by the mood. And I started deliberately, let's find a new phrase, one that you take home with you forever and remember. I found a phrase. It's all me and I know it. It's all me and I know it. Good?
Thank you.
Yeah.